Back to my mental health crime channel. This is the case of the Idaho 4. I've been going back to the beginning of this case like I do every 3 months, and I found this article very interesting. This also confirms what I read posted by local Adam. Everyone was saying Adam was the bartender. This local said he was the bouncer. When another poster asked what Maddie, meant by told Adam everything, the local replied that she told Adam everything about the creeper, and Adam and the bartender kicked him out. That's it. No deep, dark secrets. Now that I see it from this picture, that Adam is indeed the bouncer. So who's the creeper they threw out? I think that is Jack Showalter. He's always been one of my main suspects, in my opinion. Who was the creeper? Was it Showalter? Adam was the bouncer, so he kicked him out. I wonder if that is David Lodge, his white truck, or is it Jack D's? Must be David Lodge.
Girls who lived in the home. And it's just important that people let the criminal part of it try to work itself out, and that all of the kids were just really good, great kids. So, I mean, the light of the school, I mean, everybody knew them.
One of them, I believe, was his girlfriend was also killed at that front.
Yes, Xana. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were in the same room.
And I think that's all the questions I have. I really do appreciate you guys sharing more about Ethan so we can understand more about him and share more about him with, Western Washington and the community here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, a lot of questions. Xana Kernodle was raised in Idaho, but she spent time here in the valley since her dad moved to Avondale a few years ago. He describes her as fun, smart, and strong-willed, and says it's impossible to imagine she was killed in the worst homicide police say they've ever seen in this small Idaho city.
She didn't really worry about the drama stuff that much.
Yeah.
She wasn't into that. She just liked having fun, wasn't worried about materialistic things. She was with her friends all the time.
Avondale father Jeffrey Kernodle, who was too distraught to be on camera, remembering the life of his daughter Xana, one of the victims of the brutal stabbing at the University of Idaho, leaving 4 college roommates dead on Sunday.
I heard from her, I think before we went out, I think midnight. It was the last time I heard from her, and she was fine.
The murders happened early Sunday morning, rocking the small town of Moscow, Idaho, which hasn't had a murder since 2015, according to state records.
I have no idea. It doesn't make sense.
He says Xana was in constant communication with her family, and nothing about that night seemed unusual.
The door locks with the number code.
Uh-huh.
Every time you open it, like I had to go back I had to go around the house to get in the house because of the number code. So they either knew that or they just kind of went around and found the slider open.
A father struggling to understand how this could have happened. Why Xana?
They were just hanging out at home.
Yeah.
Xana was hanging out at home with her boyfriend.
2 other female roommates, Madison Mogan and Kaylee Gonsalves, were killed along with Xana's boyfriend, Ethan Chapin, who Jeffrey loved.
And her and Ethan were together about a year, give or take some, whatever, but she really, when I went up there, I saw her just, a week before that. She changed a lot. She had a life. She got to see what it was to have a boyfriend to live with and have a real life. And she really turned around and was being really responsible, helping him out into the studies and stuff. I was really impressed.
Kernodle says there's one thing the autopsy shows for certain. Xana, a strong-willed girl, fought her killer until the very end.
Bruises and just, maybe hurt by the knife or
Yeah.
whatever. She's a tough kid. Whatever she wanted to do, she could do it.
We're continuing to cover this story from every angle. Grace Anderson is joining us right now. She's a high school friend of Kaylee Goncalves and Xana Kernodle, and she's joining us live from Boise, Idaho. First, so sorry for your loss. The pain of this, I can't even imagine. But we have the video of a couple of your friends. At least I know that Kaylee was there at the food truck. Do you know who all is in this video?
Just Maddie and Kaylee, yes.
Okay. And you were very close with Xana.
Very.
When was the last time you spoke with her?
I would say this summer. I mean, I would talk to her over Snapchat every once in a while, but this summer was like the last.
Who could have done this?
No, that's up to the authorities to disclose with everybody.
Okay. Have you been in touch with the authorities? Have police questioned you and other friends, hopefully trying to get some more info and piece this together?
No, but
Xana's father said that she changed her locks. Was Xana under some kind of threat? And Kaylee was studying from home. What was actually going on in the house?
Prosecutor Bill Thompson. Mr. Thompson, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Police there have called this a targeted, isolated attack. Are investigators looking for a particular suspect or suspects this morning?
At this point, the investigators are looking at all possibilities. They don't have a specific suspect. They're continuing to work on that.
Do you believe that whomever did this is still at large?
Yes, we have no one in custody, and the police have been unable to identify who's responsible for these homicides.
Is it possible there's more than one suspect?
It certainly is possible. That's the purpose of the investigation. That's why we're really hoping for any information from the public that can help the investigators recreate everyone's activities Saturday night and early Sunday morning, and hopefully give them the leads, the information to identify who did this.
There's so many things about this case that are so hard to put together. Veteran police officers who arrived at the scene said it was one of the most horrific and gruesome scenes that they had ever seen. Yet somehow there were two roommates who were in the house who apparently didn't hear anything. What are the red flags you have there, and are those roommates considered persons of interest?
Well, anybody who might have knowledge is considered persons of interest at this point. As far as suspects, I don't believe so. The investigators continue to work hard trying to interview everyone who might have any information and hopefully figure out and identify what occurred and why and who's responsible.
And we recognize that this is an investigation very much ongoing. The four came home, early in the morning, Sunday morning, let's say 1:45, 2 o'clock in the morning, something like that. The 911 call didn't come until midday the next day. Does that raise any red flags for you? How do you explain that?
I think the investigators are trying to ascertain why there was a delay and what actually occurred, what was heard. That's a question that's still out there, and I know they're working on that. We're trying to assist them as much as possible with obtaining search warrants for data and cell records and social media and anything that might help.
Can you reveal who reported this?
I can't reveal who made the 911 call. The police do know who made the 911 call, though.
Obviously, we don't know anything about motive, but the mayor did initially refer to this crime as a crime of passion. Why did he say that?
I can't speak for Mayor Betke. To my knowledge, there is nothing to indicate that this has been determined to be a crime of passion. We know it's just a horrible crime, and 4 young lives have been lost.
And finally, initially, investigators and the police had said the community has nothing to worry about. Now they've sort of said, well, of course we should be vigilant because there is a suspect or suspects still at large. What is your message to that community this morning?
Well, I think the fact of the matter is that whoever is responsible for these murders is still at large. The investigators do not know who that person is. From what they've told my office, they believe that this was what they call a targeted attack and not just a random act of violence. And I think they tried to communicate that, but obviously that communication didn't work very well. It's unfortunate for any confusion in the community. People just need to be vigilant and help us however they can. We hope that we can identify who's responsible and get them off the streets as soon as we can.
With a C, Mabbutt, M-A-B-B-U-T-T.
And I'm going to ask you, how long have you been doing this for?
I've been doing it for 16 years, and I just got reelected for another 4.
So what is it that, or I guess, when did you get the call on Sunday?
I got the call just a few minutes after noon that there were 4 homicides, but I didn't go to the scene because of law enforcement doing their investigation first, so I didn't actually go to the scene until about 5 or 5:30.
Can you walk us through, like, for our viewers, kind of the process between when police show up and then you guys getting the bodies and doing their examinations?
Sure. Well, law enforcement goes through and looks for any evidence, takes videos and pictures of everything in there, and they'll start talking with people. So I don't really need to be there for that. They can't move the bodies. I mean, the bodies have to stay as they were until the coroner gets there. So that's what my job is, to look at the bodies.
As a coroner, do you guys do the autopsies and all that?
No, we some do if they're an actual medical examiner, but we have forensic pathologists and we contract with Spokane to do that.
So in your experience, what is it that you saw when you showed up?
Well, there was a lot of blood. It's a very sad scene with 4 murdered college students.
You're really manager? Yeah.
I believe that the press release was that they were from a sharp object. So
stabbings.
Yeah, we'll know more after the autopsies tomorrow.
And do you believe this could be like a murder-suicide or?
No, there are 4 homicides.
Okay. And when it comes to doing the investigation post-autopsy, that falls on you, correct?
Yes. It's my job to determine the manner and mechanism of death.
And then I know with toxicology results, there can often be, at least in Washington, a delay. So do you have any idea how long it could take, if those were relevant, to get any type of results back on that?
Well, the toxicology reports, right, they usually take 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes longer. But they might, I don't think they're going to be relevant in the actual manner. The toxicology reports, right, they usually take 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes longer. But they might, I don't think they're going to be relevant in the actual manner or cause of death.
Isn't toxicological reports one of the most important things? Maddie was very intoxicated. Number 9 was putting something in her mouth, allegedly. Why wouldn't the coroner need a toxicological report? Wouldn't the coroner want to take a toxicological report of Maddie? We haven't heard of Madison Morgan defending herself. Did she actually have a chance? Was she OD'd? What did number 9 put in her mouth?
There you can see for yourselves his hand in Maddie's mouth. So all the people who want to debunk me, it's up to you. There you have it. His hand is in Maddie's mouth, I repeat.
Why aren't the police looking into this? You can clearly see number 9 has his hand inside Maddie's mouth. What kind of drugs did he give her? Did something happen to Maddie in Taylor Avenue? Why was a black coat there?
Let's not panic, you know.
Is there a receipt to prove it? Loved ones remembering learning about loss of Ida murder victims. This was ABC News. It had 27K views, and that was 9 days after the quadruples.
It's an accident. Let's not panic, you know. And I would protect me, Kaylee. See if she was okay. She obviously didn't ever respond. It was in the morning.
So she called Kaylee, that's Eva, Kaylee's friend and sorority sister. Kaylee did not answer, and it was 10 a.m. in the morning. So everyone knew what happened with the 4 victims, but nobody called 911. Was it DM who was spreading the rumors? Or BF?
And very few answers after 4 students at the University of Idaho were found murdered in their off-campus house. Authorities are calling it a crime of passion. Here's Stephen Fabian.
It's the chilling last photo of 4 University of Idaho students taken just hours before they were found murdered. They were identified as freshman Ethan Chappett, his girlfriend Xana Kernodle, Kaylee Gonzalez, and Madison Mogan. It's being called a crime of passion. The killer or killers used an edged weapon such as a knife, police just revealed. I spoke with Kaylee Gonzalez's sister, Olivia, who described the last night of the students' lives.
My sisters did everything right. They went out in the buddy system. They went out together. They Ubered out. They stopped and got food. They Ubered home. They let their dog out to go potty. And then they locked their house up. They did everything right. And this still happened. Only when I
Social media videos show Kaylee as a fun-loving, vibrant young lady enjoying campus life with her sorority sisters, inside the 6-bedroom off-campus house where the murders took place. They were murdered between 3 and 4 a.m. Sunday, and their bodies were found later that morning. The medical examiner has reportedly ruled out a murder-suicide, but even with a killer still out there on the loose, authorities say there's no risk to the other students on campus, and that's all adding to the mystery of these tragic deaths.
Crime of passion. Wasn't it said that Kaylee had a stalker? Could the stalker have been Jack D, her ex, because she wasn't following him on Instagram? Or could it have been Jack Showalter, because he was sexually harassing women, females, and Ethan got him kicked out of his frat. Kaylee got Jack Showalter kicked out of the Corner Club. He has psychopathic tendencies at times, because he unalives coyotes and throws them in front of the sorority's house. Allegedly. Comes from a rich family that donate a lot to the college. I believe he's protected. What do I see inside the bushes? Is that a weapon? What is wrong with these pants? It looks brownish, reddish. I believe these 3 came from unaliving Ethan and Xana. The timeline matches them perfectly.
Both, yeah. No, me. Okay. So, I got you.
Citation here, rest of your information on here, but that's all your information.
So is there a rule, like if you get multiple MIPs or MICs, it'll turn into an actual charge?
Yeah, so if your third one turns into a misdemeanor, which is a criminal charge. Yeah. Your second one is additionally more expensive than $487.50. So I don't know what it goes up to, but yeah.
Definitely less than yours.
Yeah. Just wait till you're 21, or be smart about it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I didn't drink all that I did, but I can go staggering around the middle of the roadway, afterwards. So, not saying you're a bad person or anything, but there's a way to do it, obviously, and there's a way to do it. Obviously.
He is very anxious.
Back, sign, turn it okay. So restrictions in the back.
This is when the four figures were running.
Again, how paid or contested by December 1st. But sign yellow line is on mission grill. That's just saying we acknowledge that. Okay. Up here. Obviously, you're in junior college, so it's up here. Smart about it. Stay here and drunk out. So, okay, so you're free to go. See you, man. Alright, what's last for your social? Where's your license out of Idaho? Height?
6'3".
Weight?
Probably about 155.
Hair color? Brown, black, brown? Eye color?
Blue.
Okay, so same thing for you. December 1st. Go back and test it out, okay? So I'll take care of that. Sign the yellow line, non-mission guilt, sending your miles up.
There can't be a white Hyundai Elantra. Is that Xana? Somebody was posting these pictures on 4chan anonymously. It's Kaylee in a room. It was allegedly from that night. Take it with a grain of salt.